Onwuchekwa. It's lovely to be here. All right. Cancer saved my life. Every time I make that statement, I still feel a visceral reaction. And I realize that it may seem conflicting to some, but at this stage in my life, my motto now is to always share the good, the bad, and the downright ugly about the more challenging aspects of dealing with cancer and being a survivor. So what are the good parts of survivorship? After battling treatment, many survivors, some of whom may be in the audience today, often feel an overwhelming sense of joy and relief upon learning that their treatment has been successful. Now, those magic words, "your cancer is in remission," are overwhelming, but they're often followed by gratitude, a fresh perspective on life, and a desire to cherish every moment, enjoy the simpler things in life, and just reconnect with loved ones. And then there are others emboldened by this new outlook, become fearless in the pursuit of their dreams and just trying to make the most out of this second chance in life that they've been given. And I can relate to all these emotions. Several years ago, I received a devastating diagnosis of a rare and aggressive cancer known as Rhabdomyosarcoma. This sarcoma attacks the muscles, bones, and soft tissues. For the best part of 2 years, I was in and out of hospital. I struggled to walk, talk, or even eat at some of my lowest points. In fact, this was me. Despite the devastating diagnosis, I managed to defy the odds. And so when I tell you that I can completely relate to and I understand the feelings of euphoria, excitement, joy, relief, gratitude that survivors feel, that is by no means an exaggeration. As a patient, when I was in that hospital bed, I prayed that if I was ever to survive this ordeal, I was going to be different. I was going to be more courageous in life, pursue every goal, dream, aspiration, no matter how outrageous, difficult, or unattainable it may seem. So what happens when cancer fighters transition into survivorship? How do they really feel? What's their new normal like? And what about those dreams that they longed for? Are they now more attainable? What I discovered was, alongside all the good stuff that survivors can experience, survivorship in itself presents its own unique set of challenges. In fact, it's akin to entering a whole new world filled with secrets and lies. The secrets we uncover and the lies we tell ourselves. What do I mean by this? Survivorship entails shouldering the secret burden of survivor guilt, the persistent fear of the cancer returning, facing the societal stigma associated with having cancer, with some people thinking you must have brought it on yourself in some way. And let's not forget the added complexity of looking healthy on the outside while still suffering on the inside. These often unspoken struggles warrant more attention. It is crucial to have open and genuine conversations about the emotional and mental turmoil survivors can experience. Greater awareness, research, funding are needed to address these issues comprehensively. Because the uncomfortable truth is that many struggle to adjust to everyday life after their treatment ends. They're often expected to resume roles and responsibilities quickly, pick up where they left off, be the parent, partner, sibling, friend, boss, go-getter that they used to be. But it's not always that simple. Facing the trauma of your own mortality and vulnerability leads to ongoing issues, from PTSD, acute stress disorder, to depression. And personally, I can relate to this. My amazing friend, Prabha, a beautiful soul, her cancer came back, and we had treatment around the same time. But tragically, she didn't make it. Her passing brought forward my own survivor guilt, making me constantly question why I made it, and she didn't. These emotions of guilt, fear, and even shame are real and commonplace, and they come hard and fast at a time when I should have been at my most free, having just beat cancer, knowing logically that I was in a better place physically. I struggled with depression and anxiety, unable to get out of bed, unable to function at work effectively, let alone being able to pursue any dreams and aspirations that I might have had. The question is, how does one free themselves from the mental and emotional grip a disease can have on its survivor? How do you live your best life amidst such powerful, conflicting emotions? How do you find the strength to be resilient? Studies will show exercise, meditation, medication, therapy are some remedies that can help. And I must have tried them all, but like so many, I was still unraveling. That is, until I realized that I really needed to look into what was going on. I heard a famous professional cyclist refer to his cancer as an enemy that he had to beat. And it was at that point I had an epiphany, and I realized that I had been giving cancer way too much power and control over my life. And that in order for me to free myself from the grip it had over my mind, I needed to change my mindset and investigate what laid at the root of my post-cancer struggles. After much introspection, I discovered what it was. Fear. Having come so close to death, I had developed a fear for life. I was terrified that if I seized it, allowed myself to become comfortable with it, let alone enjoy it, cancer will rear its ugly head and strike me down. Fear is a powerful emotion that triggers a physical and emotional response. It serves as a warning signal for potential danger, be it real or imagined, physical or psychological. Over 60% of adults admit to having at least one irrational fear. I invite you to consider yours. What are your fears? Do you think you have any? And if so, have they ever held you back from seizing opportunities, chasing passions, or growing in some way? Fear can be debilitating and destructive when we fixate and worry endlessly about possible outcomes. It can rob us of our joy, impede our abilities to do certain tasks, and impact our well-being. But contrary to some popular belief, it is impossible to eradicate it completely. It's an intrinsic part of being human. It serves a purpose. So the key is to manage it, reframe it, and channel it into a source of motivation. After experiencing my epiphany, I developed 4 powerful steps that completely transformed my life. When I implemented them, they opened up my world in ways that I never imagined. And within 1 year of entering cancer remission, I had accomplished some incredible milestones. My marketing business was flourishing. I completed my MBA studies. I ran marathons across the world to raise funds for cancer research charities. I even competed in the Mrs. Universe pageant in Miami, representing the UK, and came home with a crown. There I am. The question is, what are these steps and why did they work when others didn't? The very first is to acknowledge your fears, confront them head on, and be really honest with yourself about what they make you feel. Because when you gradually expose yourself to your fears, it reduces their paralyzing effect. Permit yourself to feel your fear. I'm going to say it again. Permit yourself to feel your fear. It's okay to allow yourself to experience it and all the array of emotions that go along with it. Cry, vent, write it down, talk to somebody. By taking on the discomfort, it helps cultivate the mental strength you need to manage your fears more effectively. Reframe fear as a motivator. Well, what we say to ourselves matters. Try turning that word fear into positive acronyms that mean something to you. Studies show that the language we use and the repetition of affirmations can help reduce stress and helps with the neural connections in your brain, the positive neural connections in your brain. I turned my fear into FEAR. Not sure if you can guess what that was. I can flourish, endure, attack it, rejoice. And fourth, challenge your fears with action. By doing this process, it impacts the body. And the body initiates a process of restoring the neurons and neurotransmitters in your brain. Now, this is pretty transformative because that helps you convert fears into sustained and positive change. When I implemented these, I systematically rewired my mindset and strengthened my mental resilience. It empowered me and emboldened me to embrace life and lead a more fulfilling one, marked with significant milestones and better emotional well-being. Addressing fear or trying to manage it in any area of your life requires a deliberate process. And every step we take towards that is a win for your personal growth. So I encourage anyone who's living a fear-based life to take on that journey and let your courage surpass your fears.